All right, you guys, welcome. Welcome to the Rocky Mountain Miracle Center for our Sunday Course in Miracles gathering. Thank you for being here. And I am Rebecca Quinn. I'm one of the facilitators here and the president of the Miracle Center. And I'll be facilitating today. So before we start our class, let's just close our eyes and breathe and take a moment to allow ourselves to become present. So, close your eyes, take a breath, and just breathe and allow your mind to come back home to this present moment now. This is our time to allow ourselves to step out of the world for a moment and to come back home to where we really are, to who we really are, and to remember who we really are as we were created by the infinite love and the infinite power that we were created by. God, love. And so we want to tune our awareness inward, tuning into not only the present moment, but the presence that lives in the present moment. Our true self, our higher self. Feeling what our true self feels like. Who are you right now? Only right now, without a past, without a future. Who are you right now? And what are you right now? Without the past, without the future, what are you right now? Feel into it. Try to remember. And then let us remember what A Course in Miracles tells us about our true self. As we say to ourselves silently, I am one self. That's what I am. I am one self. I am one self united with my Creator. And I am one self united with every aspect of creation. I am not alone. I am not separate. I am one self. I am complete. I am healed and I am whole as I was created and as I remain. And so let ourselves feel the truth of that for a moment. Let us feel our completion. We are complete. Let us feel our completeness. Let us feel how we lack for nothing because we are everything. For a moment, let us feel the truth that there is no lack in us. Let us remember for a moment that we cannot lose, because our Creator has given us everything. And to make sure that we could not lose everything, our Creator gave everything to everyone. And so for just a moment, we choose to remember the truth about ourselves. And for just a moment, let ourselves actually experience this truth. And we allow this truth that we remember to heal our sense of isolation and our sense of loneliness and loss. Our perception of isolation, loneliness, and loss is an illusion. It's not true. Just feel that and breathe that in. Breathe and feel the truth of your being, which you did not create, and so you cannot destroy. And for just a moment, allow yourself to enjoy the fact that you have not destroyed your innocence. You have not destroyed your creativity or your power. You have not destroyed your goodness. And so we choose to remember in this holy instant our innocence, our power, our creativity that has remained intact. Our light remains as strong. Our power remains as strong. Our innocence remains as pure as the moment we were created by love, by God. And we were given everything in our creation. And we retain that. And so we take this holy instant to remember this and to feel it and to allow this memory and this feeling to heal, to correct our false beliefs, our misperceptions that there is something missing from us, that there is something wrong with us. And to that we say, amen. And when you're ready, just take another breath and bring your awareness back to the room. All right, you guys. What did I do with my water? I forgot my water. Where is it? I think it's outside the bathroom on the cabinet out there. All right. So, guys, I'm going to see if I can figure out the YouTube thing. Okay. Well, guys, if you need a book, there's books on the table back here. And darn it, I'm gonna try one more time to go live on YouTube. Carla, what are you recording on? What?
I'm just straight recording. I'm not.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't
Well,
think
okay.
it's up on YouTube though. I was just checking.
Okay. Yeah, it's not recording for some reason. Okay, so much for that.
What is it, live streaming?
It is live streaming on Facebook. And if somebody, Carla, if you'd be willing to maybe post something from Facebook. All right. Okay, guys, thanks for being here. And are you ready for a miracle? That's all I have to ask. That's the first thing I have to ask before we even start. Just want to make sure you're ready. Want to make sure you've all given your consent. So you can't come back later and say that we forced a miracle on you. So where we're going to be today is in chapter 29, section 8, and it's called The Antichrist. Dun, dun, dun. I just thought, you know, it's kind of been out in the ethers, this idea. Mm. Anybody heard anything lately about the Antichrist? Maybe you think you know who it is. There's definitely some folks I thought maybe it was. Until I read this section. I was like, I know who the Antichrist is. It's that dude over there. It's that dude over there. I thought that was interesting. It was all dudes, I thought. There were no women. I was like, she's definitely the Antichrist. Nothing against you dudes, but since you're not really dudes anyway, we're all just, you know, innocent children of God, thinking that we're men and women in bodies. So it's 29:8 in the blue covered edition of A Course in Miracles. If you have the original edition in whatever form you have, I think it's called Beyond All Idols in chapter 29. Something like that. Okay.
What is an idol?
Maybe it's What is an Idol in chapter 29. But in the blue book, it's 29:8, the Antichrist. Okay. Wonderful. So, we're going to be talking about, now, first I just want to address the term, the Christ. Just get that out of the way here. So when it says the Antichrist, what it means is the anti-you. Okay. The Course in Miracles defines the Christ as who you are as you were created by God. That's what the Christ is. So it refers to the Christ in you, the Christ in others, the face of innocence. And so it's not talking about Christ as somebody else, like somebody who was, God's one chosen person and who died, whatever. So the Christ is who you are as you were created by God. And when you accept yourself as you were created, instead of who you learned you were as a guilty body that dies, then you will experience what we have come to associate with the Christ, okay? The experience of being unlimited. So when it talks about the Antichrist, it's talking about all things that are not God, not true, and not you, okay? So that's what we're going to be talking about today, the anti-you, what is not you. All the things that we worship that hide the truth in us. So the Course in Miracles says when you want to hide your true Christ-like nature, when you want to hide your true Christ-like self, what you do is you worship things, people, place, and things outside of you. You give your power away to them, and then you try to get your power and your worth and your value from them. You worship. You put your power outside of you in people, places, and things and circumstances, and then you worship them. You beg them to get that power and that worth for yourself, because you yourself don't know your power because you gave it away. You don't know. And so, and the Course in Miracles says that the way that the whole thing began, where we came to a place where we see ourselves as having fallen lower than the stones beneath our feet, so low that we believe we've fallen, that we need to reach up to something beyond ourselves to get the worth and the value that we don't have. Now, how did that come to be? That we feel so low, so little, that we have to worship things outside of ourselves to get that value, to get that power. Well, Course in Miracles says this is how it happened. It's not that we were kicked out of the garden because we did something wrong. That's not how it happened. How it happened was, A Course in Miracles says that, that it all began when we were one with God, a beautiful idea in the mind of God, not living separate from our source, no lack, no need, only joy all the time. But then it says a tiny mad idea crossed our mind that maybe it would be better if we had something more, some more than everything, more than everything. If we had just a little bit more, okay? Totally insane, crazy idea. If you're already one with everything and have everything, how can you have more than everything? Right? It was an insane idea. It was an insane idea, but it was an idea that we, a thought in the mind of God, forgot to laugh at it. We forgot to go, that's a crazy idea. How can you have more than everything? I am everything. I'm one with everything. I have everything. Because that's the way God wanted it to be. That's the way God created us to be. So that's a crazy idea. How can you have more than everything? Right? How can you have more than the infinite? And so all of a sudden, now the idea of lack seemed possible. Now we had to go to sleep, have a dream that we actually separated from God so that we could have this experience of more than others, more than everything, more than God. Okay? And that's how A Course in Miracles says that we fell asleep and began to dream a dream of lack and death and being separate. And now, and that's where the body came from, The Course in Miracles says. Okay? Because if you want to dream that you can have more than everything, which means have lack, then you have to have a body that needs everything all the time and then dies. So that's where the body came from. Okay? To play out my fantasy that I could have more than everything and be special, be more loved than everyone else, I have to have a body that seems like it can get and take more, okay, and that also dies, okay. So that's how it all started. Just to give you a little background. And then the Christ in us is the part of us that did not separate, that knows that we didn't separate. That's the part of us that when that tiny mad idea of lack and having more than everything crossed our mind, we did laugh. And that's the part that did not separate from our source. That's the part of us that did not come into a body and thinks that it is now a body. So it's our original self. It's our self OG. That's what our Christ self is. Now, when we want to forget about our true self, our one self, our self that's united with everything and that has everything, we had a dream that we are a body, now we need more and we could get more or have less. But I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yes. Yes. And so the Christ in us is the part of us that knows that we have everything. And when we want to forget our true self, then what we do is we push our power out. We give our power away. You have the greatness that I lack. You have the love that I lack. You have the needs that I lack. You have it. That has it. They have it. And now we worship that in order to get it back. But as we do that, as we worship things, people, places, and things outside of us, it does not ever restore to us that perception of greatness that we believe we lack. What it does is it makes us feel more little. It makes us feel more lacking. It makes us feel more afraid. It makes us feel more angry. When you seek for your power and your worth and your value and the love and the joy in anything outside of you, all you're doing is making yourself feel more empty, more little, more unworthy. Okay? So that's the background. Okay, so we are in chapter 29, section 8 in the blue book. And what's the number of the section in the original edition? 9. Okay, so in the original edition, it's section 9. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so here we go. What is an idol? Okay. Do you think you know what an idol is? Because idols are unrecognized as such, which means idols are never seen for what they really are. Now, that I don't recognize idols as idols, and I don't see what idols are really for, that is the only power that idols have. Okay, so the first thing about idols is, I don't know that I'm worshiping idols. Somebody said to me, what idols do you worship? I don't worship any idols. I mean, I think people should worship me, but I don't worship any idols. You know, I'm not an idol worshiper. Whatever I believe in is real. Right. So the first thing about things you worship outside yourself is you don't even know. Right. You don't even recognize that that's an idol that you're worshiping. You don't know you're worshiping an idol until your idol fails. And you cry. Of Course in Miracles says every time one of your idols fails, you cry. And only then, after lots of therapy and support groups and some Course in Miracles classes, do you go, oh, I had made of that relationship an idol. Oh, I had made money, power, and fame an idol. Oh, after lots of therapy. But until then, you don't recognize the things you worship as idols. Okay? You don't realize that which you're seeking after, that what you're searching for, that's an idol. All those things outside you that you think you're going to make you happy and safe and complete and whole, those are idols. So we don't recognize what they are, and we don't recognize why we're worshiping them. That's the first thing he wants us to know about idols. That's why the first question was, do you think you know what an idol is? A little rhetorical question that the Course in Miracles is so famous for. Okay, now, also an idol is something you believe has power over you. Okay, so what is it you think has power over you? Okay? What is it you're afraid of? What is it you think you need that without you think is going to be bad? You know, like for instance, the first one would be like money. You know, well, I don't have any idols. I don't worship anything. Yeah, do you think money has power over you? Hell yeah. The only thing that gives an idol power over me is that I don't recognize that thing as an idol, and I don't know why I'm worshiping it. And that's why money has power over me, or whatever it is. Whatever the thing I worship, whatever it is that I think is going to give me greatness, give me power, give me worth, give me value, give me love, give me happiness, whatever it is outside of me that I think is going to give it to me, that's what I have. That's what I believe has power over me, which means that's what I fear. So now I fear money. Now I fear power. Now I fear fame. Now I fear that relationship. Now I fear that job. Now I fear that government. Do we feel like our governments have power over us? Sure. Hell yeah. And that's why we fear our governments. Okay?
April 15th.
Thank you. All right. Okay, so the only power that our idols have over us to frighten us, to hurt us, is because we don't recognize that we have made it an idol and given our power and our worth and our value to it. But if we haven't, if we recognize, oh, that's an idol that I'm worshiping, it don't have any power over me. Oh, my happiness and my value, my worth really isn't there at all. Then it has no power over me. And so now I don't need to fear it. Okay. Idol's purpose is obscure. If you're reading with me and you see a word, you hear a word I didn't, that if you hear me use a word you don't see, it's because I'm filling in the pronouns and the its and the theys and the theirs to help you keep track, okay? Their purpose, idol's purpose is obscure, it's hidden. Idol's purpose is hidden. And so idols are feared and worshipped both because you don't know what those idols are for and you don't know why you have made these idols. So interesting that whatever it is you worship outside of you, whatever it is you're seeking for outside of you for worth, value, happiness, love, joy, is something that you will fear. Whatever you worship, you fear, okay? What is it you fear? Well, I have survival fears. I have fears of loss. I have fears of abandonment. I have fears of fill in the blank. I have fears of death. That's what you worship. Isn't that crazy? Whatever I worship is what I fear. Because I have a belief that has what I need and want. And what if I don't get it? What if I get it, but then I lose it? What if I get it, someone takes it from me? So if it's outside of you and you need to somehow get it, then you're going to fear it. So whatever it is you worship, you fear. Whatever it is you fear, you worship. Wow. Okay. So then it says, now it's going to give us lots of definitions of idols, okay? There's lots of stuff that we worship that is false, that is outside of us. There's lots of things we worship that's outside of us. There's lots of things that we worship that are false, okay? And so it's going to talk to us about them. The first one, the first definition of an idol that we worship and fear is an idol is an image of your brothers and sisters that you would value more than what they are. Well, I didn't expect that. I was like thinking that idol was going to be something else. Like, the Antichrist is this big evil dude out there, who's an evil genius, So first thing is an idol is an image of another person that you value more than what they are. Okay. So think about somebody that you don't like. Okay? Their name's already crossed your mind. Just hope it's not me. Okay. That is you worshiping an idol. That is you worshiping an image of that person that you value more than who they really are as created by God. Now, I value my image of them about being a no good, low down son of a gun. And then, of course, it's like, yeah, but they're an innocent child of God just like you. No, they're not. You must not know them like I do. If somebody tells you something different, you're like, you've never been in a relationship with that person. So an idol is the negative, unloving way I want to see other people, my judgments, that I'm not open-minded about at all. I value my judgment, my perception of them, my image of them more than who they really are. So I'm worshiping the idol that of my image of who they are. I've made an idol of them. And why did I do that? The next sentence says why. It says, I've made these false images of other people so that I can replace them who they really are. So that I can replace their reality with my image the way I want to see them. Because I'm so smart. Okay? That's the purpose of all those images, false images of other people that I value more than who they are, my judgments, right? You know that you value those judgments more than who they are because when they try to tell you, that's not me, we go, yes, it is.
And those judgments can be negative and positive, right?
That's true.
They are superstars more than human, right?
Exactly.
So it could have been a negative, oh, he's a demon, but it could also be, oh, she's such an angel.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, they're so perfect, you know. Oh, they're so perfect, you know. Oh, I wish I was them, right? That's a false image too, right? Okay. So it says the reason that I value my images that I've made for people is because I am trying to replace them. And it is this that is never perceived and recognized. Okay? That the reason I value my judgments of you more than who you really are is because I'm trying to replace you. That's what I don't see. Now, be it a body or a thing, a place, a situation or circumstance, or an object owned or wanted, or a right demanded or achieved, the idol is the same, or the purpose is the same. So now, not only is our idols our images that we value about other people that aren't true, but also we've heard that an idol is also a body, a body, a thing, a place, a situation, or a circumstance, an object owned or wanted, or a right demanded or achieved. Okay, it's an idol, and the purpose of the idol is the same. I'm trying to replace their truth, and ultimately also mine. Yes.
And I'm hearing that the word replace is a synonym for separate. I want them to be separate.
Exactly.
I want to be separate from that.
Exactly. And thank you.
Or I believe myself to be separate from
Exactly. And another synonym for separate is different. I want to be different from them. You know, one of the idols is, hey, I'm glad I'm not them. I'm glad I'm different from them. I'm not like them. Right? That's one of our favorite idols. I'm not like them. I'm different. And of course, better. Okay? We never see ourselves as different without also including better. Okay. Yes.
Why do we do that?
Okay. The whole section is going to be explaining that. So the whole section, we're getting into that. Okay.
I think another thing that fits here well, because it says they can be replaced despite form, right? And so it's also the archetypes that we work with, right? That I will always have a villain in my life. I will always have a hero in my life. I will always have that little person that's the victim.
Yes.
And so maybe today Joe is the victim in my life.
Right.
But tomorrow it'll be Sue that's the victim.
That's right.
Like there's always someone that fits that role.
That's exactly right. And I love the two roles, the hero and the victim. You know. Okay. Okay, beautiful. So now we're going to go to paragraph 2. Now, don't let the idol's form deceive you. Okay, so we're still talking about things you worship outside of yourselves that aren't true, but that you have given your power and your belief to. Okay, that can never give you that sense of strength and power and worth and value. So, Don't let idols form deceive you. Idols are but substitutes for your reality. Why would I want to substitute my reality? Why would I want to do that?
Because I don't see it really.
Thank you. Because in some way you believe that idols will complete your little self for safety in a world perceived as dangerous, a world with forces massed against your confidence and peace of mind. That's why. Why do I value idols? Why do I value things outside of myself? Why is that? Because I perceive myself as little. I only have a little. I am little. I'm powerless. I'm little. I'm weak. And I believe, and I also feel unsafe in a dangerous world with forces massed against my confidence and peace of mind. Right? Anybody notice that? Anybody notice that perception that I feel unsafe in a dangerous world with forces massed against my confidence and peace of mind? Anybody feel that way about the world? Okay. Anybody sometimes feel little, as in powerless and weak, especially against the forces massed against you in the dangerous world? That's why I want idols. I feel little, I feel weak, and I feel unsafe in a dangerous world. Not to mention unworthy, because that's what I learned about myself. And that's why I'm seeking for something outside of myself to give me the worth and the value and the strength and the safety and the happiness and the love and the joy that I don't feel like I have. That's why I value idols.
And what I'm hearing is that this is the ego strategy idols are the ego strategy for addressing my fundamental belief that I'm a victim of the world that I see.
Very good. Exactly. That's the ego strategy. Well, if you just had some of that, or if you just had them, or if you just had some of this, or some more of that, then you wouldn't feel little, and you would feel complete, and you would feel safe in a dangerous world. Okay? In other words, you believe that idols have the power to supply your lacks and add the value that you don't already have. So the big lie that is caused this dream of lack is the lie and the fantasy and the illusion that I am incomplete. God created me incomplete. I mean, I know God is everything, is all powerful and all loving, but somehow he created me missing something. I mean, maybe other people have everything, but I'm obviously missing something. I'm missing some worth, I'm missing some value, I'm missing some power, and God obviously gave it all to Madonna, but forgot about me. God, I just want what you gave to Madonna. So that's the whole lie, is that even though God is all love and all powerful, that God created a creation that could be lacking and could be full of needs and could be little and lacking and needing all the time. That's the big lie. That's the big lie that we forgot to laugh at and then fell asleep and dreamed a whole world that seemed to justify that lie. Okay? So it says we worship things outside of ourselves because we believe that things outside of ourselves have the power to supply our lacks and add the value that we don't have. And no one who believes in idols has not enslaved themselves to littleness and loss. If you believe that there's someone and something outside of you who can supply your lacks and add the value that you don't have, you have enslaved yourself to littleness and loss. Anyone here who does not feel sometimes enslaved to littleness and loss? Exactly. Yeah. We have all, every time we seek outside of ourselves for the value that we don't think we already have, then we are enslaving ourselves. We're putting shackles on ourselves to littleness and loss, making ourselves feel more little, making ourselves feel more deprived, making ourselves feel more powerless, making ourselves feel more valueless, unworthy of love, joy, happiness. Every time we seek outside of ourselves for the value we think we don't have, we are enslaving ourselves to littleness and more loss. So every time you're like, oh, they'll do it. Oh, that person. Oh, just that relationship. Oh, that power, fame, money, and physical pleasure. All of the next thing you know, you feel more lacking, more powerless, more afraid of loss, abandonment, etc. Whew. Okay. That explains a lot, right? It's like, oh, now that I know why I feel that way. I've been looking in all the wrong places. Not only did my idols that I was searching after not give me the value and the worth and the power that I thought they would, but I felt worse. I felt worse after I went for it, tried to get it, search for it. Okay, so I just want to say, if you are experiencing anything like littleness, loss, a feeling of being deprived, a feeling of weakness and powerless, if you are feeling unsafe in a dangerous world, if you feel like you don't have enough, if you feel like you are not enough, it's not true. You've just been looking in the wrong place. It's not true. You've just been looking in the wrong place. So I just wanted to say that. All right. And now you're hearing where to look so that you can experience the value and the worth and the love and the joy and the abundance that is the truth about you. You're hearing about where to look, where you will experience it. Guaranteed. Okay? That's what we're getting to. So don't leave yet. Don't leave before the miracle. Remember, in the Course in Miracles, in every section, first it tells you the problem. First it tells you what you believe and why you believe it and what it has caused in your life. And then the end of the section is, and here's the truth about you, and here's how you invest in that truth, and here's the result that you will get. In every section is very holographic in terms of you're getting the whole of the thought system of A Course in Miracles in every section. So, okay, so it says, no one who believes in idols, who has not enslaved themselves to littleness and loss, and thus must seek beyond their little self for strength to raise their head and stand apart from all the misery the world reflects. Okay, that's what we're doing. We're seeking for things outside of ourselves so that we're seeking beyond our little self for strength to raise our head and stand apart from all the misery the world reflects. That's what we're doing. I'm looking for something outside of myself, my little inadequate self, for something that will enable me to raise my head and stand apart and above all the misery I see around me. Like I just want something that enables me to feel apart from others and above others so that I can look down at all the misery beneath me. I'm just like, what will enable me to feel better than other people? What will enable me to feel above and apart from other people? All the misery that I see, that the world reflects, okay? Now, and feeling like I have to look beyond my little pitiful self for something that will enable me to raise my head and stand apart from all the misery of the world, This is the penalty for not looking within, for certainty, which means quiet calm that liberates you from the world and lets you stand apart in quiet and in peace. That's the penalty. Okay, so feeling like myself is little, myself is inadequate and weak, and I gotta look outside myself for something that'll enable me to raise my head up and feel like I'm apart and above the world of misery. That's the penalty for not looking within. For what? For my certainty of my value, my certainty of my worth that was given me by my Creator. And it's the penalty for not looking within, for the quiet calm that actually does liberate me from the world. There's only one thing that, like, I think, well, if I just had enough power, fame, money, and physical pleasure, I would be apart and above the world, and I'd be safe, right? If I just had enough power, fame, money, and physical pleasure, you know, I could be apart and above from the world, and I'd be safe and happy, and I'd feel complete. But there's only one thing that'll enable you to actually feel complete and safe, and that's happy, and that's when you look within yourself for the certainty of your worth and value that cannot be denied, cannot be lost. Looking within yourself for that quiet calm that actually liberates you from the world. The only thing that liberates you from the world is a quiet calm within. What is a quiet calm within? It's like, I know my worth and my value because I'm created by God. The Course in Miracles says when you question your value, say this to yourself: my worth is established by God. Okay, that's what gives you quiet calm. That's what gives you strength. That's what gives you confidence, is that my worth is established by God. Not by this, not by that, not by you, not even by me. My worth and value, my strength, my completeness, my love and joy and peace, it's already been established by God. And I find that truth, that fact, when I go within instead of seeking out. So they're seeking out. Please, give me. Oh, please give me the worth and value that I gave you. Please give me the worth and value that I projected on you. Right? And then there's looking within, in quiet, calm, in certainty that your worth and value has been established by your Creator.
It's another way of saying, seek first the kingdom of heaven.
Exactly. It's the same as saying, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all else is given you. The Course in Miracles says that you are the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is you. So when you are looking within, you are seeking first the kingdom of heaven. You are the king. The Course says, God didn't create something besides you. You are the creation of God. It says in this section, God doesn't have many children. God has one creation, and we're it. We just think we're billions of different separate bodies. Wow. That's one of the great miracles for me of A Course in Miracles is that it teaches you the truth about yourself. And I've studied many different philosophical systems, and I've never seen anything that was as complete in its expression of who we really are as created by God, the truth about us, the truth about us. No, and the Course in Miracles is saying the truth about you is that you were created by God, and you were created with everything, as everything, all the love, all the joy, all the power, all the eternal life, all that you could possibly need. You were created so complete that you don't have any needs. You don't need anything. You don't need anything. Why would God, who's love, create a creation that needs something all the time? Why, that wouldn't be loving. I'm going to create my creation, and I'm going to make them missing so much that they're going to be needing stuff all the time. And maybe they can get it, maybe they can't, if they can afford it. Doesn't sound loving at all. That actually sounds psychopathic. And the God that we have learned about is a psychopathic murderer who's very needy, very codependent, very insecure, and cruel. That's the God we learned about. Of course, in Miracles, it's reminding us that God is only love, and God has created God's creation complete, needing nothing. It doesn't need to get anything or anyone outside of itself to be the whole, complete, beautiful, eternal, guiltless, sinless creation that it is forever. Okay, yes?
I'm sorry, maybe it's a stupid question. Don't I need food and shelter in order for this body that I'm living in to continue?
Yes,
Am I misunderstanding what
yes,
I mean
the
here?
body does need a lot. It's the most high maintenance relationship you'll ever have. But you are not that body. And then, of course, in Miracles says that God did not create the body because the body is so needy and because the body dies. So the Course in Miracles is the only belief system that I've ever come across that says God didn't create the body. Now, if God did create the body, that means God is the author of lack. That means that God is the author of death. And that means that God is cruel. Okay? That's what Course in Miracles says. If death is real, then God cannot be love. So, Course in Miracles says that God did not create the body, and you are not your body. The truth is that who you are does not need to get anyone or anything outside of you in order to be wholly valuable, wholly worthy of love and only love forever. Yes.
So what I hear you saying is,
Good job.
I've been coming 5 or 6 months. I'm new to Course in Miracles, and I just trusted that it would work. And so I lean into trust. I mean, the other path is miserable.
That's right.
The island path. So every day, or I'm not very disciplined, so maybe every other day, like Matt says, open the freaking book, right? I can sit for 5 minutes or whatever in silence, go within, even though the voices in me will say, well, your worth and that God part of you is buried under all this insecurity, all this
need.
all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I sit the next day, or I might skip a day, sit the next day. And then I just keep doing that. And eventually, I think that's the path, eventually I will recognize that my worth, what did you say?
Is established by God.
Is established by God. Because I do not feel that today. obviously.
Right, exactly. That's exactly right.
So that's how I see this as just kind of a trust walk, a trust.
Yes,
sit
yeah,
and
absolutely.
meditate. And I don't want to sit and go within. I mean, I do it. That's the point.
Yeah, this is, the Course in Miracles says you're not being asked to accept the truth without experience. So it says beliefs are built up on experience. So as you apply the ideas, as A Course in Miracles teaches you how to do very specifically in the workbook, as you apply them, even when you don't understand them or believe them, the ideas themselves will show you that they're true. They will prove their truth to you. Okay. So that's how he says you're not asked to take A Course in Miracles on an unsupported faith, like you are in a lot of religions. Just have faith, you know. Course in Miracles, you're not asked to accept this, you know, on an unsupported faith. You're asked to just apply it as you are directed to by this, and it itself will show you that it's true. So we're like, oh, well, I'm going to try to see that it's true. Don't do that. Just apply it as it tells you how to do it. Okay? You don't have to figure anything out. It relates to us and teaches us as if we don't know anything, because we don't.
One more thing, my ego's really strong, and I have a love-hate with the lessons. So.
Yes, yes, of course.
I mean,
And
yes,
and the Course in Miracles says if it wasn't for the application instructions in the workbook, you couldn't really actually apply the theoretical ideas in the text. So because it's only the use of the ideas that shows that you're true. You'll never read it and go, oh, that's true. You know, that doesn't. So okay, yes.
And I just want to share that you are not unique in having resistance to these ideas.
Hallelujah.
Going inward,
Yeah.
it becomes, at least at the very, very beginning, is a matter of faith and trust and discipline to do it. But never doubt that your ego is highly defended against doing what this says.
100%.
Just accept the fact that there is a part of your mind that will continue to defend against this to the bitter end.
Yes.
That's right. Exactly.
To its bitter end.
That's exactly right. Because the ego is going to defend against these ideas in the exact same way that you would defend yourself if somebody came after you with a knife. You'd be like, oh, you know, oh my God, call the police, you know. The ego is defending. Your ego is going to defend like you would if somebody was trying to kill you. Yes, Julie?
Well, I think, and what she was trying to say up there, and I like it because we do need minimum things, okay, but you don't need to stockpile food or clothes, which I've stopped.
I wish I could say the same.
Great all the time. But you do have to have some minimal things. You don't have to have the best car. You don't need you just need some things to get by and do well for yourself.
Well, and also
that's a tough one. And she said we do need some food and some.
The point here being is, what is it you think that if you had, that you would be happy and safe and complete? That's the point here, you know. That's what is it that you think that you need to have that you don't have already in order to feel like a worthy, valuable human being or person? Like, that's the question here, you know. And the truth, what it's trying to get us to understand is that you don't need people, places, and things, power, fame, money, physical pleasure, in order to be happy, in order to experience your essential value and worth as a creation of love, as a creation of God. So that's really the point here that we're making. And because the body does need things in order to live, that's how you know that God didn't create the body and you are not the body. Okay. So,
I don't know exactly if this agrees with the Course, but I am not my body, but I have a body.
indeed.
God gave me the power to create this body.
Yes.
So in that creative power, He created it, He's going to take care of it.
Yes.
So whatever medicine or food, I love my body. And I'm going to take care of it and thank God for the creative power to do this.
Yes.
And so it gives kind of a natural feeling. The Buddhists say non-attachment. Non-attachment. If time comes when I leave the body, I'll not be attached to it, I leave it.
Yes.
But until then, I have a body, and my duty is to take care of it.
Indeed.
The same way as the natural earth creation. As a collective species, we take care of the earth. We have the earth. was given to us as a creation, and our stewardship is to take care of it.
Gotcha. Thank you.
To me, that
Yes, and
and
the Course in Miracles says the body that is made into an idol is the body that will be sick. Okay, so exactly, and so to whatever extent that I believe that my body will make me valuable and safe and happy, to that extent will my body be sick. It will not work optimally, you know. And if I'm looking to my body like an idol to complete me, to make me happy, give me the value, if I can just get something from my body that will give me some value, worth, and strength, then I'm going to fear my body. If I worship my body, I'm going to fear my body, and I will hate my body. Does anybody ever sometimes hate their body? Yes, okay. That's because, yes, thank you. Thank you so much. I forgot to ask you. I love it. Okay, so we hate our bodies because we feel like our bodies are not giving us the worth and the value that we think they should. If only my body looked different. If only my body had something different. If only I was younger. If only I was older. Blah, blah, blah. You know. So, okay. We've only done 2 paragraphs. Can you believe it? I'm telling you. I am going to have to skip after we do paragraph 3 because the answer is in the last few paragraphs. Okay. So, paragraph 3. In my book, it starts, an idol is a false impression. Does everybody see that? Okay. An idol is a false impression. An idol is a false belief. It's some form of anti-Christ, anti-you, anti-real you. That's what an idol is. False impression, false belief, some form of anti-you that constitutes a gap between the Christ, who you really are, and what you see. An idol is a wish made tangible and given form and thus perceived as real and seen outside the mind. Yet an idol is still a thought and cannot leave the mind that is its source. Nor is the idol's form apart from the idea that the idol represents. All forms of antichrist, or idols, oppose the Christ. And all forms of antichrist, or all idols that I worship, fall before our true face like a dark veil that seems to shut us off from God, or our true self, leaving us alone in darkness.
God, I feel that. Sorry.
Yeah, anybody ever felt alone in darkness? This is how it happens. It's not because aloneness is real or darkness is real. We feel alone in the darkness when we are hiding the light, the truth of our Christ self, our true self, when we're hiding the light of our true self by worshiping things outside of ourselves to get some value. When I'm seeking for my value and my worth and my happiness outside myself, I'm hiding the light and the true value that exists within me as me. And if I'm hiding the light and the truth about myself that's within me, there's only one thing I can feel, and that is alone and in the dark. And what do you feel when you're alone in the dark? Confused, scared, afraid. He says, yet the light is there. So, like the Course says, those who seek the light, what does it say? Those who seek the light
covering their eyes.
Are merely covering their eyes as to the light within them, the completeness within them. But even though we're covering the light within us because we're seeking for happiness and value outside of ourselves, the light is still there within us. Why? Because a cloud does not put out the sun. No more a veil can banish what that veil seems to separate, nor darken by one whit the light itself.
Yay.
Yay! And the crowd went crazy with applause when they heard that they can't put out the light inside themselves. Yay! The light is still within me. Hallelujah. Even if I don't believe it. You know, don't you want it to be true, even apart from the fact that you don't believe it? Don't you want? It's like we resist the course, but wouldn't you rather it be true than everything you've learned about yourself? Okay, so, okay. All right, so we'll go on to paragraph 4. Okay. Okay, this world of idols, I love it, this world of idols, that's what this world is. It's, you know, it's like, the world is like a giant series of commercials for what you need to be happy, what you need to feel valuable. You need some of this, you need some of this, and you need some of that, and you need some of this. And guess what? It all costs a lot. Okay? This world of idols, this world of all the things you need outside yourself to be happy and valuable. Okay? This world of idols is a veil across the face of Christ, your true self, because this world's purpose, this world of idols' purpose is to separate you, your brothers and sisters from yourself. That's the whole purpose of the world of idols, is to separate you from others so that you feel alone and in the dark. That's the whole purpose for seeking outside yourself, is that you would feel separate from others, that you would feel different than others. Because if you need something outside of yourself that others have that you don't have, then how are you going to feel but separate and different from them? And it says, yes, making sure that we feel separate from and alone, separate from each other. Yes, that is a dark and fearful purpose. It's a very dark and fearful purpose, the purpose of making sure that we all feel different and separate and alone. That's the purpose of the world of idols. And what a dark and fearful purpose that is, yet this purpose is without the power to change one blade of grass from something living to a sign of death. So yes, that's a very dark and fearful purpose to make us feel totally separate and alone. But it's a purpose without the power to change one blade of grass from something living to a sign of death. The world of idols form is nowhere because its source abides within your mind where God doesn't abide. Where is this place where what is everywhere has been excluded and been kept apart? What hand could be held up to block God's way? Whose voice could make demand God not enter? The more than everything is not a thing to make you tremble and quail and fear. Christ's enemy is nowhere. The enemy of truth, the Antichrist, is nowhere. The Antichrist is nowhere. It's not a thing to make you tremble and quail and fear. The Antichrist can take no form in which it will ever be real. What is the Antichrist? It's nothing. What is an idol? It's nothing. The idol, the Antichrist, must be believed before it seems to come to life and given power that it may be feared. The Antichrist's life and power are its believer's gift. The idol's power is our gift that we give to it. The power that anything has over us to give or take our happiness or worth from us, its power is our gift. We're the ones that are giving that idol, that Antichrist, any power that it has over us. Wow. And this power that we've given to our idols, that's what the miracle restores to what has life and power and is worthy of the gift of heaven and eternal peace. Okay? So the miracle, the power that we've given to the idols outside of us over us, that is our gift. That belongs within us. The power that we've given it, the miracle restores that power to us who have life and power, worthy of the gift of heaven and eternal peace. The Course in Miracles does not restore the truth. Why? Because the light, the veil between, has not put out. The Course in Miracles merely lifts the veil and lets the truth shine unencumbered, being what it is. The truth in you does not need belief to be itself, for it has been created, and so it is. Okay, so I'm going to skip ahead to paragraph number 8, which starts, what purpose has an idol?
No purpose.
Okay, what purpose am I using it for? Okay. All right.
You know,
Yes,
to me, one of the things I'm getting from all this is the perception. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. So when we see something and we idolize it, we make it a god when it is not. It's like the word idol comes from the pagans that saw statues and stuff as God. So if I idolize my body, I'm making it a god, and that's false perception.
yes.
So to me, idolizing and the whole thing of the idol is in the perception.
Yeah, absolutely. It's perceive, it's looking out to get and to take the power and the value and the love and the joy that you think is not in you. That's instead of looking within to find the beauty, the worth, the power that is within you, because it is what you are. Okay? That's what we're talking about here.
Anna,
Yes.
I just wanted to circle back to the topic from last Sunday, the little garden. And these the idols that we worship have made, first of all, the part of our mind that has accepted this idea that we're worthless and lacking is a tiny, infinitesimal part of our actual mind that we
That's
share
right.
as God created it.
Thank you for the,
And
that's a
it's
good
that
reminder.
tiny part of our mind that we're being asked to return to the awareness,
Yes.
to look past this veil of clouds to the
Yes.
light that still exists there.
That's right.
And that metaphor from last week of what we've made, the world of idols, has become this dry and dusty desert where creatures come to die.
That's right.
And instead we're being invited to let the light of truth and love and joy come in and see a garden blossom there instead.
Exactly. And the way that in this section it says to let the light come in is to look within, you know. And the Course in Miracles tells us that our ego tells us, don't look within. And we know that our ego is telling us that because what happens every time we try to look within? A million distractions comes up, right? Am I right? How long before you try to look within does a million distractions or fear come up? Okay. The ego tells us, if you look within, let me tell you what's going to happen. Your eyes are going to see such darkness that it's going to see such evil that you will recoil from the evil you see within as if you're recoiling from a poisonous snake. So don't do it. That's literally what your ego tells you. That you will die if you see the evil that exists in you. That's what you'll see if you look within. And so it says, oh, just look within. That sounds easy enough, right? But we all know how difficult, how terrifying that is, and how much resistance we actually have to doing that. And you can tell that this must be telling the truth about what is actually within us, because of the level of resistance that our ego gives when we try to quiet the mind, close our eyes, and look within. Okay. So, paragraph 8. What purpose has an idol then? What is an idol for? Because remember, it said the only power that the idol has over you is you don't know what it is and you don't know what it's for. And that's why it seems to have power over you. You worship it and you fear it. What's it for? Well, this is the only question that has many answers, each depending on the one of whom the question has been asked. The world believes in idols, right? As a matter of fact, no one comes to this world unless they worshiped idols, and nobody comes to this world unless they are still attempting to seek for one more idol that yet might offer us a gift that reality does not contain. So that's your ticket in. You don't get born here unless you are worshiping the Antichrist. unless you are seeking for an idol that will give you something that your reality does not contain. That's how you get it. That's your ticket in. So if you are a soul that has accepted your reality as God created you, as complete and healed and whole and needing nothing and perfect and innocent and sinless forever, deathless, all that, you don't come here. You don't get born here. Wow. Okay, that's pretty deep, what Course in Miracles says about that. Hard to believe, huh? No, my birth was a miracle. Okay, hold on, let me keep going. Okay, so then it says, so what's it for? I am worshiping idols because I think that idols are going to offer me something that my reality doesn't contain. Like, I believe that my reality did not make me worthy enough or valuable enough, okay? And so then it says, and each worshiper of idols harbors hope that their special deities will give them more than other men possess. It doesn't matter really more of what. More beauty, more intelligence, more wealth, or even more affliction and pain. But more of something is an idol for. Wow, that's what the idol is for. I need to have more. More of something, more than, I don't even care if it's more affliction and pain, right? Just, I need to have more than other people possess.
You can even idolize sickness.
That's the affliction and pain. You know how when people start telling us their problems, and we're like, wait, you think that's bad? Let me tell you about my affliction. Okay, we all do that, right? Which lets us know we don't care what the more is, we just want more. Whatever it is someone's telling us about, we're going to interrupt them. And we're going to tell them how we have more. You think you have affliction? Let me tell you about my story. Okay. And so the idol that we worship, that we came here, that we were born for, is the more of something. It doesn't matter whether it's more beauty, more intelligence, more wealth, or even more affliction and more pain, but more of something is an idol for. And when one idol fails, guess what? Another idol will take its place, and with hope of finding more of something else. Don't be deceived by the forms that the something more takes. An idol is a means for getting more, and it is this that is against God's will. Isn't that deep? So God's will, God's will is that God has given all of God's creation, everything, forever. No exception, no condition. God has given everything to every aspect of creation, such that no aspect of creation at any time, anywhere, would need anything. That's God's will. Okay? God's already given us everything forever, and to make sure you can never lose that everything, God gave it to everybody else. And by the way, God only has one creation. Okay? But the tiny mad idea that we forgot to laugh at, that became a very serious and tragic seeming reality, was that idea that, well, you know, even though I have everything, I think I need some more. I think something more would be great. But really, it's the idea of having more than everything, getting more than everything when you already have everything. That's the idea of lack. That's the idea that makes us feel separate and different from each other, which means alone and lonely. Okay? All right. So now we're going to go to the last paragraph, paragraph 9. Okay. And as the last paragraph, of course, it has the answers. Okay, in case you haven't heard them already. Okay, paragraph 9. All right. It says, God has not many sons, which means children. God doesn't have many children. God has only one. Okay? So even though we look like we're many different beings, we're actually one. Okay? God doesn't have many different children where, like, God gave more to these people. God chose these people, but God didn't choose those people. Right? You know that concept? God gave some people more and some people less. Okay. God only has one creation. Okay. Now, if God only has one creation, then who could have more and who be given less? If God has only one creation, who is it who could be chosen and who could be rejected? Okay, if God has only one creation. In heaven, which means reality, would we, the children of God, but laugh if idols could intrude upon our peace? In reality, when we know our reality and the idea of like, ooh, if I could only have some more, I'd be happy. We would laugh. We would laugh at that idea. If we were aware of our true reality, we could but laugh at the idea that we don't have enough and that we need some more of something, of anything. And it is for us, the children of God, it is for the children of God, us, it is for us that the Holy Spirit speaks. And the Holy Spirit in us, speaking for us, tells us that idols of more have no purpose here. Why? Because more than heaven can you never have. So the voice for truth in us is always saying, you already have everything. You can't have more than everything. You already have heaven. You already have heaven. You already have total completion and abundance, which is heaven. You already have everything. You can't have more than everything you already have. And then the voice for God within us also says, heaven is within you. And if heaven is within you, if completion and abundance is within you, why would you seek for idols that would make of the heaven within you less to give you more than God already bestowed upon others and on you as one with God? Just a few logical questions to ask ourselves, right? And then it says, God gave you all there is, period. Did you know that? Did you know you already had everything there is? Did you know that God has already given you everything there is? The answer is no. No, I did not know that. I've heard that rumor since I started studying the course, but this is the truth about us and God that we all forgot in our search for more. This is what we all forgot that made us feel little and inadequate and weak and different and separate and alone in the dark. Okay? So we're hearing the truth that we don't yet believe, but we will. You can't unhear the truth once you hear it, even if you try hard as you can. Can't unhear it. Yes?
We switched the search for God for more.
Say that again?
We switched the search for God for more.
Yeah, right.
We replaced it.
Yeah. So then it says, God gave you all there is, and to be sure that you could not lose the all there is, did God also give all there is to every living thing as well. Isn't that loving? Not only did God give me everything there is, but to make sure I couldn't lose it, because you know how I am. I'm willing to trade it for nothing. I'll give you my everything for that nothing over there. To make sure that I couldn't lose the all there is that God has given me. God gave all there is to everybody else. To make sure I couldn't lose it or give it away. Thank you, God. Then it says, and that's how it, and thus is every living thing a part of you. God gave everything there is to you. God gave it to everybody else. Make sure you could never lose it. And that's why everybody else is a part of you, a living part of you, just like you are a part of God himself. Now, no idol, no thing outside yourself can establish you as more than God. Nothing outside yourself can establish you as more than God. Nothing outside yourself can give you more than the everything there is that God has given you. Nothing outside yourself can give you more than the everything you already have. He says, but you will never be content with being less. Nothing, what does he say? Nothing outside yourself can establish you as more than God. But you will never be content with being less than God. God gave you everything there is, including God, which means that you are one with God. You can't be more than God, but you'll never be content with being less or having less than the everything that God has already given you. So no matter how much you get outside of you, even if you get all the power, fame, money, and physical pleasure in the whole world, you know, they're the richest person in the whole world. Nobody has more power, fame, money, and physical pleasure than they do. You still will never be content. You will still never be content. All the things that we tell ourselves, well, if I had that, I'd be happy. Well, if I've had that, I'd feel complete and safe in this crazy world, right? But nothing, anything less than accepting the everything that God has given you, that remains within you, waiting for you, nothing but that will ever content you. No matter how much of nothing from outside you that you get. There you go. Yes?
I find it funny that in our humanity, we shrink everything by trying to add more to it, right? If you can add more to everything, now everything's smaller, right?
Yes, right.
And so I want to make that, I'm not willing to accept everything, so I want to make everything smaller, but I want to add more to it.
Very good. By seeking for more. By seeking and valuing something more. Yeah, thank you for saying that. That as I seek and search for something more value, more beauty, more wealth, or more affliction, I'm actually seeking to lessen myself, to lessen what I have, to lessen who and what I am by seeking for more. And so what's the answer here? The answer is, okay, wherever it is that I'm experiencing feelings of incompletion, feeling unsafe, feeling unhappy, feeling disconnected, feeling like I don't have enough, experiencing lack, wherever it is that I'm experiencing that, that is where I have been searching for idols, something outside of myself to give me more than what I think I already have and am. That's why I'm unhappy. That's why I'm unfulfilled. That's why I feel alone. Okay? I'm seeking for more instead of going within. And so the answer is to stop searching outside of myself, close my eyes, go within, and go look for within me the quiet certainty that I was created by God, and God is love, and God has given me everything there is, and let myself experience the fulfillment. When you go within and you experience that you have been given everything because you are everything, you will experience completion. I feel complete. I feel fulfilled. I don't feel driven to get anymore. And that's ecstasy. When you, even if for just a moment, and you feel, I feel fulfilled, I feel complete, I don't feel driven to get and search and need, it's heaven. When you experience the all that has been given you, the all that you are, that's what A Course in Miracles calls heaven. Heaven is within you. A Course in Miracles defines heaven as a state of completion and abundance that you experience from within you. And that's the answer to our fruitless, desperate search for something that we never found outside of ourselves. Yes?
So another word for me is, if you're able to find contentment and abundance from within, anything that you experience outside of that is more.
Absolutely. When you've experienced complete fulfillment from within, everything outside is like a cherry on top. And what happens when you've been searching for something, and you're searching for something, searching desperately for something, and then one day you go, F it, I'm not looking anymore, whatever. What happens right after that? Ring! Hey, I want to give you what you were searching for, desperately, and never finding for all these years. As soon as you stop searching and you go within quiet certainty, then everything outside is awesome no matter what it is. And also then, everything that you thought, everything that you had been idolizing, thinking it would make you happy, tends to just show up. So thank you for saying that. Okay, that's it. Let's do our love offering. And we're going to do some announcements. And then we'll have some fellowship snacks in the library kitchen area.
No.
Yes. Okay. No.
We made it here.
Wrong.
Because at 1:30, George teaches today.
Oh, okay, great.
This is a weird month. The fourth Sunday comes before the fourth Saturday.
Oh, weird.
Right? The fourth Saturday is the end of this week. So last week, remember, I was fumbling over the movie, and it's so weird. I hadn't heard from George about the movie, and I was saying it was last night. Well, I lied to you. It's actually this upcoming Saturday, which is the fourth Saturday in February, and they're watching Gravity with Sandra Bullock.
Oh, cool.
That's the movie. 7 o'clock, so this upcoming Saturday is really, so hopefully none of you guys listened to me and tried to show up last night because it was dark and no one was here. 7 o'clock though, and so they watch the movie and discuss about the movie, and at the end of the movie how it applies to A Course in Miracles principles. And it's free, so just come in and enjoy. And then today at 1:30, George has his Remembering Our Innocence workshop, where he always goes over a key principle. And this week they're going over what is creation.
Okay, beautiful.
So the section on what is creation, and that's at 1:30.
Beautiful.
We are going to have yummies in here in case you smelled burning pizza. The pizza is not burning, the oven is. And Carol's in there making sure it doesn't burn. But we'll need to put up tables out here
Okay,
for
great.
that. And then Anna and I, the following Saturday, so 2 weeks from
That's right.
now, have the play shop from 10 to 4, which is a miracle community in the real world.
Exactly. How to experience the real world.
What does that mean?
It means, yeah, the Course in Miracles talks a lot about the real world.
Right.
And the real world is the world you experience when you have looked within for your experience of completion and abundance. And so this is how to access that world through the portal within.
And we'll be going through the section
Yes.
on what is the real
Exactly.
world. What is the real world?
And just to be clear, this is the 7th.
Yes, Saturday the 7th.
Yes. And it
Here.
will be here. Now, it is 33, 44, 55, 66, but
The
if
cost.
money is an issue, don't let
make
it be an issue.
Don't make it.
That is never an issue.
Yes,
So if your desire is to come and resources aren't there, that is okay.
absolutely.
And then we have a new opportunity that the board collaborated this week on, and we're excited for those who are available. We have 10 seats at, and I forgot the name of Saya's organization. It's a
It's a healing
it's
opportunity.
Healing opportunity is frequency. And let me pull it up here so I can, we have too many text messages. Next Sunday, it's a frequency machine. She has 2 rooms and
In Lakewood.
And so we have booked both rooms so we could have 10 people. We have 2 sponsored positions. The board has sponsored 2 positions for those that can't afford to go but would like to. Otherwise, it's $35 a person for an hour and a half. And what these machines do is they really reset your frequency. And we'll be doing it as a community, so we'll be able also to enjoy. It's from 3 to 4:30 next Sunday. If you would like to join, please come see one of us board members, which is Anna, myself, Andres, Carol, or Matt.
Where is it at?
It's in Lakewood. It's in Lakewood.
Oh.
I have to pull up the text message because I can't think of the name of it. Hold on, give me a second.
Just go there. Or
No, you have to cut. We have to know
Oh.
that you're going because we have 10 specific spots. So we would have to make sure that we knew how many were going. So we do